there any timetable yet, as in, what next season that injury could impact her?
Not yet. In some ways, I mean, we're very fortunate that something like this happens in today's technology, because years ago, I mean, that ended careers. It was a long time. I mean, not that it's an easy road to recovery, but the science and medical team they're so good with these rehabs and recoveries off of this. So, but I don't have the exact timeline. I'm sure most normal ACLs, they give them a little bit of time for the swelling to go down, even do some rehab in between, right up to the point where it feels good, and then they have the surgery and repair it.
Where do you kind of see Raven fitting in? I know she played, I think it was 2 minutes the other day. Do you expect that number to go up now?
Yes, I do, and I think she's ready for it, and she'll be sharing minutes with Charlie, and again, I root for everybody, but I am rooting for her to finish off her college career the right way, and this is a really good opportunity for her to step up and do that.
For the rest of your team outside of Danae, I remember, I guess it was back early in the year when y'all had the impromptu game in South Carolina. You were talking about there's those moments where you kind of feel bad for yourself, but then you have to get over it, kind of thing. Y'all face so much adversity. I mean, it's been one thing after another. Not to minimize Danae's situation at all, but within your team, is there kind of, all right, well, here's just the next challenge that we have to overcome kind of mentality? Have you seen them, I guess, mature as they keep facing a challenge after a challenge?
Well, I can tell you after today's practice, so we had yesterday off, but yeah, they have been very mature, and it's not just, it's hard just to say it, and then you need something afterwards.
Yeah.
So you can say, whatever motivational thing, whatever directing your mind and your focus, but then we have to have something to direct it toward. And so that's, I guess I've been using the term task at hand. So, again, we're not going to minimize any of these things. I mean, they've all been impactful to their lives, but we have to be very defined and determined and resilient in terms of this is the next task at hand. Now, I do think we've gotten to be pretty good at that. Is like there's a time and a place for this. Now, this is a time and a place for you to do something, and here it is. It's basketball. It's something that you love, and it's something that we're gonna. And so they've been really good at being able to let go and then jump in and lean into the next task at hand. And during times like this, you have to have that. You can't have it lingering on you. There's a time to shut it off. There's a time to put it in a compartment, and we can go back to it later, but not right now. This task at hand is the most important thing that you're doing.
Doug, between all the adversity that you faced this whole year, between getting promoted to the interim head coach when you did, between Rakia leaving, between the Danae injury, and you still having success despite all that adversity, do you think this whole kind of season and all the adversity that you faced has kind of helped you grow as a coach personally?
Oh, for me personally,
Yeah.
Absolutely. And again, not something that I would choose, but yeah, I've had to dig deep. I sure would not have wanted to do this job at 30 or 35 or even 45. Every experience that I've had throughout the years of coaching, it seems like I've had to pull from each one of those things. So sometimes when you're a little bit of a younger coach, you can chase all kinds of different things down different rabbit holes and get distracted. And I still get distracted, but focusing on what's the absolute most important thing for this team at this particular time, that takes some years, and it does take some discipline. And so, and when you're doing that, when you're searching and when you're struggling, every game's a puzzle, every team is a puzzle, every year is. They're never the same. But that searching and caring, it does bring out stuff inside of you that you didn't know existed, that you didn't even know you could handle. If you care enough about it, and we do care enough about this program.
What have you seen from Auburn so far? I know they've struggled from a record perspective, but beat a top 10 team in Tennessee. They have a first-year coach that spent a lot of time here. What kind of sticks out on film with them?
Yeah, a talented, athletic team. I think they play defense similar to the way Vic did when he was here, in terms of out there in the passing lanes and in a aggressive, tough-minded defense. They haven't shot the ball extremely well up to this point, but talented enough to knock off, a Tennessee program that's, one of the top in our league. So, very dangerous, and I think they're good.
Annie was named Player of the Week this week, and I know she had a really good season at Tennessee, and then she did what she did at Middle Tennessee, and she's making her impact here. I mean, just how important has her veteran presence and skill set obviously been to this particular team?
Yeah, she has been tremendous since Christmas. She was good before Christmas, but since the Christmas break when she came back, and again, we use the term, there's a fog sometimes, and people are trying to understand terminology, trying to understand new coaches, they're trying to figure out the new environment. Well, that fog lifted, which allowed her to be free, and her practicing, and she's so intentional about getting better. And now that some of that fog has cleared, it's not just about her finishing her game. She's intentional about the person next to her and growing their game and making that person a better player, or giving that next player the ball with a little bit more time. Like when she passes the ball, it is a strike. And so Ree Thompson is catching balls with more time and space than she ever has. So we're not holding it, we're not making those players reach. And it starts with players like Annie and Maya and the rest of them, and it is contagious. So she has been a breath of fresh air to our program, in terms of getting that ball to move, and obviously she's a tremendous talent.